Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's the house!
Correct.
We were all Richard Allen!
You pieces of shit got to the jury, didn't you?
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
I don't know where I am. Why aren't I on the screen? That has never not been on before. What's happening? Oh, maybe that one? That's weird. I don't think I've ever had that not on. I'll have to figure out what the hell's going on there. You guys are there, right? For some reason, my camera isn't working now. Strangely. Well, I guess you don't get to see me tonight. Does the other camera work? The one of the dogs? Yeah, it looks like that one's working. Don't know why. The light's on it though, it's kind of strange. Hey, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut down, stop streaming, but it'll still be on the same stream. And then I'm gonna open up and then start streaming again. Alright, so just don't leave. So here we go, hold on. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's back on. I don't know what's going on. Is it working now? Let's see. It might. No. No idea what's going on. Just not working. It looks like, I think another app or something's using it. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this one. Sorry about that. What's that? What are you doing? What's that face, Cindy, that you're doing right there? What does that mean? God, do you ever just show up and just be normal? It's wild. Yeah, so unfortunately, well, you guys, it doesn't really matter. Everything else will be the same, but my camera isn't working. It's never not worked before, so I don't know. I never even check it. But it's weird. No, the camera, I can see the lights on my camera, but I'm not using it. It's not being used by the program that I'm in. So I don't know what the deal is with that. That's one of those things like, does somebody else have control of my camera? You know, because it's the only thing that I have open is OBS Studio, and that's the only thing that I'm using that runs a camera. That's pretty weird, right? Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Alright, well, this is our last night before our donation night. So let's see if we can have a decent one tonight. Gene Hackman was probably my favorite. I mean, he was just amazing. He's one of the best actors there's ever been. I mean, just unbelievable. You know, Unforgiven and just like, I mean, there's probably like 100, you know, way before that. I mean, he's been in Superman, he was even in, you know, like he was just freaking awesome, you know. wonder why that camera's running. What else would use it? Maybe, let me see if Skype's open or something. Ah, jeez. No, don't see it. It's just sort of on, weirdly. Wonder if I don't want to reboot or anything, but I also don't want. I hate. It's weird when the light's on and you're not using it. Paranoid. But anyways, remember the other day when. Remember the guy named the captain? You know, he's a YouTuber and he took his life and he killed, murder suicide basically. And I was friendly with him on Facebook, like he was a YouTuber, and we had conversations over the years because he covered Delphi also, and he seemed like a really cool dude. That's what he seemed like. But after the murder-suicide, like the revelations have come out, and he's absolutely, there was nothing good. He wasn't like a good person behind the scenes. He's one of those people that tricked everybody. Like he was an absolute monster. So I don't know, like I can just base it on what I knew. I knew him. I would call him a friend, not like, not that I didn't think of him as like this good friend that we talked all the time. I think last time I communicated with him was like a month and a half prior. He would tell stories about his kid and, all these different things. And, almost virtually everything that he would tell everybody wasn't true, And so I said, you never should kill anybody, but it's understandable in the story that he gave that he was kicked out of his own house and he had this his wife started seeing somebody else and that person said it wasn't even his kid, so you could sort of understand how somebody's mindset would get to where it was, but none of that was true at all, none of it, right? So nobody's ever been backed up where, oh yeah, it's okay to kill somebody. It was just like you could understand somebody doing that, even though nobody should do that, right? So, people who thought they knew him have no reason to apologize. Like his good friend, because I know that the good friends of his feel sort of guilty because they believed him and went and sort of defended him, or not really defended him, but just said, wow, this is so unlike him. He must have been in a desperate place. And they shouldn't feel bad, okay? He's just, he's a psycho. He's somebody that tricked everybody around him and they believed in him. So you shouldn't feel bad for actually believing in somebody. And, Cold Truth is one of those people. She knew him pretty well and, did a lot of, talked to him and they all hung out sometimes and she just, you could tell she did a whole, like a 45-minute hour show on it, just talking about it, and was pretty emotional about it. And, I don't think she needs to feel bad. I mean, maybe it made her feel good too, but when I was listening, I was just saying, well, you got to put that on him. He's the monster. And what it is I think that, I don't know. You never actually, some people you think here's what's weird is, how like, I feel like I know some of you guys really well. But that's exactly the same thing as he, or, she felt like, and these other friends felt like when they talked to him. That's really weird, It's a weird thing. You never really know, I guess, what's going on. But hopefully, you can't live your life not trusting people, What's weird is when somebody is that conniving and sort of builds trust with people, and they're not real the whole time. That's where you start questioning yourself, right? All right. But anyways, like I just said a minute ago, guys, this is the last night until donation night, so we have to have a good night tonight too. We're currently at 0 on the show, so if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. Yeah, he's the only one to blame. Like before, you could sort of, say like he shouldn't nobody should kill anybody, but you could understand how somebody pushed to that level would do it. But it turns out he's not, that none of that shit was true at all. So, what's weird too is when you just sort of listen to his videos he'd make, he just sounds so normal and rational, and it's just really crazy stuff. Hey, thanks Vicky White, Monica Reeves, and I think it was it yesterday or 2 days ago we gave $500 to NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, hoping to do another 2,000 or 2,500. We'll see how it goes. If we can get to 3,000, that'd be pretty sweet, but I don't know. It's been a rough month. The first half was really just down in the the dumps on this channel. Hey, thanks Monica Reeves and Vicky White. I know, yeah, it's weird. I don't know, like I even unplugged the camera a second ago and then plugged it back in, and the blue light came back on without anything being open. So I don't know what, so there must be some kind of app or something that's open. I don't know. But anyways, I understand how you feel there, Cold Truth. And it was a cool show that you did, discussing it. Probably felt cathartic in some way to get it off your chest, and also, it feels shitty when you stick up for somebody, and I guess and she felt bad because in her case, like she's a domestic violence sort of, always defending the victims. And in this case, it's like, here's this good friend of yours, and he tricked you into believing these certain things, and then you're sort of going against what I don't know, it's hard to say, because you're not really going against anything. You're believing in somebody, Like, not all stories are true, right? Like the whole Me Too movement and all that stuff. Like, a lot of the stuff people did was used to get at the guy, and the stories weren't true. They were in the media. Like the one girl, the Duke lacrosse team, completely fabricated story. There's all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's weird, because I even talked to Zozo about it on the side. I go, man, he's a cool dude. I mean, I talked to him a bunch of times, man. And then I told her about what he had said, and it's like, oh man, that's, and then you start understanding how he would do something like that. Like, okay, I mean, if you were in the same situation and you had a kid, and you waited so long to have a kid, and it turns out the kid isn't even yours, and blah 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 blah, this whole story, and when you heard it sort of made sense, and I think he wanted people to believe in that story. It's weird when you go back and I don't know, I don't have all the stories that these guys have, but I just have a few of like some of the stories about the car accident and things like that. Kind of makes you wonder about the car accident. Was that even a real thing? Was it some other thing where he made her say that it was a car accident? I don't know, man, because there's a certain point where once you get caught in one of those, all those lies, then all of a sudden it opens the door on all the other things. So, pretty crazy. And thanks up there to Monica Reeves and Vicky White. Alright, well, I don't really have much more to say about it. Don't keep that from trusting people and having them be your friends, but there's just monsters out there. Every once in a while there's a monster. Okay, and that's just part of the world, the world we live in. But don't make it go, oh man, I can't trust that person now because that person. All right, cold truth. You don't need to, close all your, everything up. That's just a sick wacko. Weirdly, he was friends with one of the other sick wackos out there. I always said the same thing. I always say, why are you communicating with Greeno? Why are you like talking to him? To him. Now I'd say this to him in the chats, and he'd go, I don't know. He's just kind of. Now you look back and go, wow, it's even weirder now. And I remember there was a time where, he said he had $1,000 stolen from him from Greeno, but I'm not sure if, I don't know. That sort of seems like that may have happened, but you sort of start wondering about the whole thing with those two. Yeah, God, it's so weird. You guys have heard him, right? Remember Captain Howdy? He had those videos. He had the perfect voice, or he made all these videos. But what's strange is how many videos he just every time he put a video out, he'd remove it like a week later. And what the hell are you doing that for? And basically there's none on there currently. I mean, there's a few. I guess we could go check it out. I'll go there and now it just really sucks because there's this kid, their child, who doesn't have any parents at all, and there was really no, there's no heat of passion thing going on here. It's just pure, like, evil on one side. That's it. I didn't know he was 95 years old, but man, recently he didn't look too good, I can tell you that. Let me think. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so is this is the channel right here. So let's see. This is what you remember this.
Investigate.
Estimate that.
Mainly states that they were in fact moved and staged.
That
the
boy.
Question of whether or not that happened was kind of put to bed. However, the true rumor isn't that the bodies were moved or drug a short distance.
Yeah, I mean, he made these little videos where there's a guy sitting there, and he obviously did research for his videos, etc. And he just, I don't know, man. It's just absolutely unbelievable, really. And I talked to him on the phone one time, and he sounds exactly, that's him right there. That's his voice, everything, so. Which film? I like the one that he was in with Will Smith. Like some kind of secret agent, sort of, or like the government was after him, or I don't remember what that one was called, but that was a good one. I mean, there isn't really a movie he was in that you go, man, that sucked, or he sucked. Anyways, let's go on. Let's move on to that. All right, so I'm just going to read these random. I mean, there's these whole bunch of different files here. I don't really have any more to say about Captain Howdy. He's a pile of crap. Well, my thumbnail, that's him right there, you guys. I mean, that's just unbelievable. I had no idea he digressed to that level there. You wouldn't even recognize that person if they walked up to you and say that that's him. There's no way in hell you'd know that. Don't worry about it. We've already gone through it. So here goes. Harrowing new details of the 911 call made after Gene Hackman was found dead have emerged. A frantic male caller is heard telling the dispatcher that he has found two bodies which are not moving while pleading for help at the actor's compound in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I think this is it right here. That's his, he actually is in Ben Verified, and he's 95 years old, and this has got to be it. I mean, that looks like a compound at the top of a mountain. I mean, absolutely, probably an incredibly beautiful place to have lived. I'm pretty sure like this whole thing is his, maybe, like all of these different, this whole area, you know, maybe these are different people's homes. Look at that, Jesus. Look at that house. That's ridiculous, but I think that's probably his right here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his too, like it just kind of, don't know, but, and maybe right there is his, so maybe it's more like he owns like this or something. Oh yeah, you're swearing in him? Yeah. But if you're still out there, cold truth, just don't let it bother you, man. There's psychos out there, and you've met a couple of them, and this guy tricked everybody, so don't worry about it. You did nothing wrong, and even in that show that you guys removed, there was nothing wrong. It just was all a lie that he had told you guys. So you were just believing in somebody. I just want you to realize that. I don't think anybody thinks less of you or anything like that. If you do, if somebody thinks less of you because of how you thought, then they're idiots. All right? I'll just say that right now. All right. So anyways, a frantic male caller is heard telling the dispatcher that he has found two bodies which are now moving, which are not moving, while pleading for help at the actor's compound in Santa Fe, New Mexico. TMZ reported that the caller, whose identity was redacted, was emotional and repeatedly exclaimed, "Damn," while sniffing away tears. Disturbingly, the caller, believed to be one of the two maintenance men who stumbled across the bodies, was unclear if they'd stumbled across one or two corpses. Oscar-winning actor Hackman, 95, and Arakawa, 64, were found partially mummified in two different rooms at their $3.3 million home on Wednesday afternoon. I mean, that's kind of weird, right? I mean, the part that's, it's just, the whole thing is just odd. You know, they're in two different rooms and they're mummified. And apparently they were not, it wasn't carbon monoxide poisoning or anything like that. A dispatcher can be heard asking the caller for details about the patients. The caller was unable to give details on Hackman or Arakawa's ages or genders. He could be heard saying there was no movement coming from inside the house. The caller was standing outside, looking through a window while making the 911 call. Investigators fear Hackman and Arakawa may have lain dead in the house for up to 2 weeks. I mean, that's sad by itself. I mean, there was nobody that they knew in a 2-week period that would have checked over there and were like, hey, we, haven't heard from you. I mean, my God. I mean, I feel bad that's Hackman right there. He's just holding on there. I mean, man. Yeah, let me see if that's identifiable. I wonder if that's like right there. Thank you, Allie Cake. As in, I'll eat cake. And hey, thanks so much, Amber Maiden. Hey, by the way, do you guys like that? I thought that video I made today was pretty good. I'm going to make a better one, though. I want people to be able to, feel like you're in there. Yeah, thanks, Air Maiden, and thanks, Alley Cake, etc. It seems like the comments, I don't think I've ever had better comments in the comments section of videos that I've made in a long time. Like, some people are like, whoa, this, even though it doesn't still have a ton of views, it's doing better than the other ones, but anyways, so I think that's just right there, on the, I don't know, it's hard to tell, really. because there's too much. It could be right in there, or maybe it's a whole different place. This was listed in 2006, but that looks like a compound, right? It doesn't look like. But my God, who owns this house? I mean, that is ridiculous. Oh, you didn't see it? Wow. Man, you guys are crazy. That was it was a pretty cool video. It was 360-degree shots of different locations, and then I also had a wireframe so you could see through the entire house from any location. And it was really used so that everybody could see how close everything was and where people were, etc. All right, both were found decomposed and partially mummified. The cold, dry air of the New Mexico desert climate likely helped preserve their skin and tissues. Jesus. I mean, so just kind of... The couple's bodies appear to have taken hours to identify, with news of their deaths not released until after midnight Thursday morning. Hackman was found dead. A mudroom just off was found dead. I think they meant to put in a mudroom just off the couple's kitchen. His sunglasses and cane were on the floor next to him. Sunglasses, cane. Sparking speculation he may have died from a fall. Hey, welcome, or thanks for gifting a membership, Esther, to Pixel Pixie. And I guess GSU PM is still marching along, not getting one of the free ones. Arakawa was found dead on the floor of the couple's bathroom. An open bottle of prescription pills was found partially scattered on a countertop nearby. So what, they just both took a bunch of pills and passed out in different rooms? Or that doesn't make any sense. It remains unclear how they died and who died first. The results of an autopsy could take 4 to 6 weeks to be published, local officials have said. Now, the thing is I know that they're together, but she's only 61 years old, so it seems unlikely that she would want to, go quietly into that good night with him. It seems, I don't know, something just doesn't, that part doesn't seem right. I mean, I wonder if this is a similar, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. And maybe they just loved each other that much. Maybe it's 64. I don't know. Who gives a shit? 61, 64, The results of an autopsy could take 4 to 6 weeks to be published, local officials said. One of the couple's 3 pet dogs, a German Shepherd, was found dead in a closet just off the bathroom. So one of the couple's 3 pet dogs, a German Shepherd, was found dead also. I mean, so did they poison the pet, or is there some atmospherical thing that went on with all 3 of them, and they haven't been able to determine what that was yet? The sheriff who arrived, and then their other 2 dogs survived. Okay, so it's kind of strange. The sheriff who arrived at the scene initially deemed the death as possibly suspicious, but Santa Fe Sheriff's Office now say they do not believe there was any foul play. Hackman's daughter Elizabeth was among those who speculated her father and stepmom may have been killed by carbon monoxide poisoning earlier today. It has since emerged a firefighter was called out to the house after the bodies were found and discovered no sign of a gas leak. Well, there you go. That's weird. Hackman was one of Hollywood's most famous and prolific actors and enjoyed a lengthy Tinseltown career. He won a Best Actor Oscar, and he should have won 100 of those. Okay, playing a hard-bitten cop in iconic thriller The French Connection. Didn't you watched that one, didn't you, Zozo? I thought that was one of the ones you mentioned. Hackman went on to win a Best Supporting Actor Oscar in 1993 for Western classic Unforgiven. Yeah, he was awesome in that one. He starred in dozens of memorable movies, including Bonnie and Clyde, The Poseidon Adventure. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, man. I remember that. They were trying to get out of that. I remember how they were in the water. They had to dive down deep to get out. The boat or some ship was upside down or something like that. Superman, Mississippi Burning, Postcards from the Edge, The Firm, Get Shorty, The Birdcage. Oh, that's right. He was awesome in The Birdcage. That was a great movie, that one. And Royal Tannenbaums. Hackman retired from acting after 2004's Welcome to Mooseport and enjoyed a quiet life in Santa Fe. He moved to the New Mexican city during 1980s. Yeah, The Birdcage is great. That is, especially what they made him. He was like this conservative Republican, and then he had to end up dressing drag at the end to escape something. Yeah, it was just funny. The whole movie. That was a great one. If you haven't seen The Birdcage, you got to go watch it. Yeah, Hoosiers was good too. Gene Hackman and wife were deceased for quite a while before bodies were discovered. Legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife had been dead for quite a while before their bodies were found in separate rooms of their New Mexican home, authorities said Thursday, calling their deaths suspicious. Hackman, 95, and Betsy Arakawa, 65, were found at their Santa Fe home Wednesday, along with their dog, and investigation is underway. A search warrant says the deaths are suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. Preliminary findings from the medical examiner found no signs of external trauma, the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said. The cause of death has yet to be determined. Carbon monoxide and toxicology tests were requested for both Hackman and Arakawa. Hackman's family said in a brief statement Thursday that he was loved and admired by millions around the world. So that one, I guess, in that picture there, you can sort of see Gene Hackman in there, you know, in the eyes. But that must be pretty recently. Hackman's family said in a brief statement Thursday that he was loved and it says, "We will miss him sorely and are devastated by the loss." Deputies were called at about 1:45 p.m. Wednesday to an address on Old Sunset Trail, and let's see if that's what I got. Is that what this is? Old Sunset Trail. Yep, there it is. So since that's the address, that's got to be his place. In Hyde Park, the sheriff's spokesperson Denise Womack Avila said in a statement, 2 maintenance workers said they found the front door of the home ajar and the couple dead inside. According to the search warrant, it says deputies did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home. All right, you guys, I have to put out my public service announcement again. We're on one of those slow ones. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, there is no ad revenue on these live streams, even if they pop up. It's just crazy how little. Yeah, but if you have the ability to support the channel, we're on the 27th. This is the last normal day. Trying to have a good day to here and a great day tomorrow, and then the month can be, sort of on the low end of an average because of the start of the month. The first 15 days were tough. So if you have the ability to, that'd be great. We got the Buy Me a Coffees, we've got the Super Chats, we've got all kinds of stuff. All right. Yeah, and this one, but he doesn't look anything like that. Like just skinnier. In another picture, he doesn't even look like the same person, but it might be because you can't see much of him. I don't know. Deputies were called at 1:45 p.m. Wednesday to an address on Old Sunset. I don't think they'd let their dog starve to death. Sheriff spokesperson Denise Womack Avila said in a statement, 2 maintenance workers said they found the front door of the home ajar and the couple dead inside. Hey, thanks, MM. And by the way, if you send $5 or more, like if you send in 5, you get 1. If you send in 10, you get 2. If you send in 15, you get 3. You know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for chances to win the notebook combo at the end. So thanks, M&M. 2 maintenance workers said they found the front door of the home ajar and the couple dead inside, according to the search warrant. It says deputies did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home, so it's likely that it was just them in there. A man who identified himself as the subdivision caretaker called 911 to report finding the bodies. The call audio showed he told the dispatcher he would meet first responders at the gate because he didn't have an address for the house. Thanks, Karen. Sorry I can't do anything about the camera, though. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked, he told the dispatcher. I can't go in, but I see them. She's laying down from the window. He couldn't answer questions about whether they were breathing or able to talk, according to the audio. Dude, they're not moving, the caller said. Just send somebody out here really quick. Arakawa's body was found on the floor of the bathroom. A space heater was near her head, and... space heater. I don't know. And a bottle of prescription pills was on the counter, the warrant says. I know, it's sad, because nobody even called him. That's what I was saying earlier. For 2 weeks, you'd think somebody would have been like, hey, you know, we haven't heard from Gene lately. Let's go ahead and, you know, give him a call. And then once they didn't get, you know, like you think somebody would have, Gene Hackman, for God's sakes. You know, that's what we were saying earlier. Yeah, I was thinking about the space heater with carbon monoxide, but they don't seem to think that. Arakawa's body was found on the floor of the bathroom. A space heater was near her head, and a bottle of prescription pills was on the counter. So maybe he died of something, and then she just took her own life after, you know, he died or something. I don't know, man. It's just so weird to have 2 people, and if you don't have carbon monoxide, and what else is it? Maybe it'll be, I mean, they'll be able to determine, I would think, but it was so long they were mummified. Let's see, Arakawa's body was found on the floor of a bathroom. A space heater was near her head, and a bottle of prescription pills was on the counter, the warrant says. The responding deputy believes the heater could have fallen in the event the female abruptly fell to the ground. Okay. Right. The warrant says the pills from the bottle were scattered on the countertop. It says a German Shepherd was found about 10 feet from her in a closet in the bathroom. Jeez.
What's the latest on the investigation into the death of Gene Hackman and his wife?
You know, we've struggled to release as much information as we have. There may be a press release that comes out this afternoon. You know, the search warrant was executed just before 10 o'clock p.m. last night, and so they've been working diligently through the night and starting again in the morning to completely process the scene. And so we're still in the preliminary steps of the investigation. There's not a lot of new information that's available, but you know, we will try to include that in our press release this afternoon as soon as the investigators hopefully are finished processing the scene.
Can you confirm if they have been deceased for a long period of time? I was told maybe a week or 2.
You know, all I can say is they have been deceased for quite a while. that's a determination that's better suited for OMI and the experts, but it sounds like they had been deceased for a while, and I don't want to take a guess in reference to how long that was.
Who found them? Was it these two maintenance workers, I believe?
So from what I understand, there was a gentleman that was doing some pest control work that had gone to the Hackman residence, and he noticed that they weren't home, which was odd, I guess, as far as he was concerned. He made contact with a security officer that was there, either patrolling or in the subdivision, and then it was a security officer that went to the house and had discovered the individuals in the home.
You guys are ruling out foul play, though.
We're not ruling it out. What I did state was there was no obvious sign or indication of a foul play. There was no immediate sign of foul play. Haven't ruled that out yet. This is an investigation, so we're keeping everything on the table. I think the autopsy is going to tell us a lot, and any evidence that we collect, but I haven't ruled any of that out yet.
Can you talk about the carbon monoxide aspect? I know they tested for that.
Yeah, so obviously it's not I want.
The thing is with carbon monoxide, if I remember correctly, your body turns like a red color, and it seems like that'd be something. I don't know if 2 weeks later with mummification that goes away, but I remember watching, I think it was Joe Kenda episode regarding that.
I wouldn't say odd, but it's not normal to find two people deceased in a residence. That's
Right.
concerning. And then there was also a dog that was in a kennel that was also found deceased. We don't know the cause of that, obviously, but on our experience and working on cases like this, that is a possibility. Because of that, we called in the fire department, we called in P&M to go through the house, do some testing to figure out if it was even safe for our officers to go in and process the scene and execute the warrant. They stated that it was safe. I don't have the details of exactly what they located or what they didn't locate. It was determined that it was safe. We had been going in and out of the house. I don't know if that affects, if there was a concentration of any gas, including carbon monoxide. So, that's yet to be determined.
What did it say to you that the front door was open when their bodies were discovered?
Yeah, they were home. So, I don't know if that was, if it was left ajar. There was no indication of a struggle. There was no indication of anything that was missing from the home or disturbed. That would be indication that there was a crime that had occurred. There was no indication of that. As far as, there could be a multitude of reasons why the door was open.
Obviously a very high-profile case. You're getting attention from all over the world. How does the department handle that?
The same way we handle every other case, with caution and with facts. We want to make sure that we get the investigation completed properly, and we want to release the proper information, and sometimes that takes time. And so I just ask people that, and the media, to be patient. We will release as much information as we can when the time is right and when they're factual.
All right. It looks like Michelle P. sent me a Gene Hackman search warrant. So shit. I mean, we can. You guys want to go over
For
this?
more on the response to Gene Hackman and his wife's death, I'm joined tonight by.
I mean, this will be better than reading any document. Okay. Do you guys want to go over this? All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut down OBS Studio again and start it up again, but stay on the stream. It'll just go dark for a second or so. Okay. Or not a second, like less than a minute. So here we go. I think I might have fixed something. Hold on. Ah! There it is, everybody. It worked. I don't know what the hell was going on there. All right. Now you're like, crap, it was great when we couldn't see you. There it is. All right. All right, let's go through this thing. Yeah, I was thinking something like that too, Zozo, same thing. That's why I said I think he died and then she took her own life. That's what it sort of sounds like. But I'm not sure why she would do that. Maybe he was just everything to her. I don't, Your affiant, Detective Roy R. Blah blah blah. I don't the affiant stuff. Ignitable, flammable, explosive. These are items to be seized. Let me just go. I want to just go to the narrative part. Statement of facts. Here we go. At approximately 1:43 p.m. on Wednesday, February 26th, yesterday, 2025, Santa Fe Regional Emergency Communications Center, RECC, received a call for service regarding a reporting party locating 2 deceased individuals inside the residence of 1425. And what time is that? Do you guys want to try something really quick first, though? Let's try to go to Broadcastify and see if we can find. I don't know if the 911 call, they don't record that on there, so forget it. That would have been kind of interesting. Never mind. Let's see. When Deputy Thomas and Barron arrived, Deputy Thomas indicated he spoke to 2 individuals, one of which was the reporting party, who found and located the front door of the residence at 1425 Old Sunset Trail. They wrote trial. To be opened and ajar. Deputy Thomas identified the reporting party to be a male named Roland Lowe Begay. Roland advised he works as a maintenance worker for a company called Home Company. The other maintenance worker was identified as Jesse Kessler. Deputy Thomas told Affiant, after speaking to the 2 males, he and Deputy Barron then walked to the front of the residence and found the front door ajar. He advised he did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home. Yeah, let me look something up over here. Don't forget to help support the channel, you guys. We got to keep moving forward tonight. We got one more day. This is, and I'll be reading, and usually I get crushed during that time. Let's see. This person's name is Roland L. And that's probably going to also be Santa Fe, I would think. Now, we got to help by supporting the channel so we can donate money at the end of the month, Columbo, as you all know. We were so poor at the beginning of the month. I've been really making up ground, trying to get it so I can give it also at the end of the month and support the channel at the same time, Columbo. So that's why we always know when you get the trolls in there. Yeah, sure. Hit the like button. We know where Columbo's coming from now. All right, let's see. Complete opposite of a Columbo. Can't think their way out of a shoebox. I remember them once before in here. Let's see, what do we got? I'm just going to look. I'm looking up to see if these people have criminal records that are right next to them. Yeah, making the same types of comments for months, yeah. All right, don't see one on that one, and the other one is reporting party. The first guy's name is. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Deputy Thomas identified reporting party to be male named Roland Lowe Begbie, and then Jesse Kessler. Hold on. Just looking them up really fast. And okay, it looks like there's only one. He's younger. I'm just checking who these people are. Yeah, we already went over all that. Mike said exactly the same thing. I love how people repeat exactly what you say. Let's see. This one in court records for the first person named. Just going through it. Now, this one has battery against household members. Okay, so one of those people does have a violent charge, but that was back in 2006. So, you know, might not mean a damn thing. All right. That's kind of interesting. Mildly. Deputy Thomas told a affiant after speaking to the two males, he and Deputy Barron then walked to the front of the residence and found the front door ajar. He advised he did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home. After Deputy Thomas entered the residence, he immediately observed a bathroom to the left of the front door. The door to the bathroom was open. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a deceased female, that's probably what the witness was describing, laying on the ground near the countertop inside the bathroom. The female was observed laying on her right side. He advised she was found wearing dark gray sweatpants and a light in color sweatshirt. The female was observed to have black in color hair. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a black in color space heater near the female's head. He advised he suspected the heater could have fallen in the event the female abruptly fell to the ground. Okay, but when you say she abruptly fell to the ground, I mean, that sounds suspicious. He advised he also observed an orange prescription bottle on the countertop near the deceased female. The prescription bottle appeared open with pills scattered on the countertop. So it's almost like she was taking the pills and just took a whole bunch of them and, you know, was just really sort of frantic about taking them. Deputy Thomas advised the female decedent showing obvious signs of death, body decomposition, bloating in her face, and mummification in both hands and feet. Affiant learned Deputy Thomas and Barron continued to search the residence, where they then observed and found a deceased brown in color German Shepherd canine. The deceased canine was located approximately 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. So obviously it's a really large bathroom. And then inside of the closet, apparently there was like a kennel, and inside the kennel was a dog, a German Shepherd, and it was dead. But why was it in a kennel? You know? Deputy Thomas and Barron then proceeded to clear the other portions of the residence. In doing so, they observed a pair of feet and legs on the ground near the kitchen area. Deputy Thomas identified a male to be deceased in an area of the home he believed to be a mudroom. The deceased male, who was found wearing gray sweatpants, a blue in color long-sleeve t-shirt, brown slippers, and walking cane. What is that? The gray... I mean, it almost kind of looked exactly like that, you know? I mean, it's just almost the same clothing. Now, Deputy Thomas indicated he observed a pair of sunglasses located near the decedent's left of his body. Based on Deputy Thomas' training and experience, he suspected the male individual has suddenly fallen. So, I mean, so both of them suddenly fell? Like, they're both standing there, and she falls, and, you know. So, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily believe the individuals observing what they're observing, these detectives, are accurately depicting what happened. So both of them just were standing and then fell to the ground. Drugs don't work like that. You know, you take a drug and, you know, you sort of get dizzy, you know, sort of, and you, I mean, after a while, you know, it takes a while, then you go sit down. You're not just standing there, standing as long as you can until you get really dizzy and then you fall on the ground. Right? So I don't know. I think a pair of glasses on the ground could mean anything. It could mean that he got dizzy, went on the ground, and he took his glasses off. I mean, it's that simple. We don't know. Deputy Thomas indicated he observed a pair of sunglasses located near the decedent's left of his body. Near the decedent's left of his body. I think he should have said left side of his body. Based on Deputy Thomas' training experience, he suspected the male individual had suddenly fallen. So that sounds like, oh, that's nefarious. Deputy Thomas advised the male decedent also showed obvious signs of death, similar and consistent with the female decedent. Like, meaning they're mummified, I guess. I mean, Deputy Thomas advised there were 2 other dogs located on the property. He advised one of the healthy dogs was initially observed near the deceased female, so it was inside the house with the rest of them. So why didn't that dog die? And it was inside the bathroom, and the other healthy dog was observed outside the residence. Deputy Thomas advised he and Barron searched the remainder of the property and found all other buildings and the garage to be locked and secured. Deputy Thomas advised he did not observe any signs of forced entry into the residence. Deputy Thomas indicated he did not observe any indication the residence had been rummaged through or items were taken from inside the residence. He advised, based on his training and experience, nothing appeared to be out of place while clearing the residence. Right. But you also don't know what was in the residence to know if anything was out of place. I mean, let's just say that there was a $400,000 Rolex watch sitting on the counter there, and they grabbed it and ran. Well, you're not going to know that something's out of place, right? I don't know how you would know if anything was out of place if you don't know what their inventory is. I'm not saying that there is something out of place. I just think it's funny how they just know something like that. All right, Joe, I'm going to have to start dancing a jig here in a few minutes, you guys. Maintain contact with the homeowner through text. Deputy Thomas indicated he asked Roland and Jesse when there's so many spelling errors in here. When they last had contact with the homeowners, and they both advised it was approximately 2 weeks prior. Right. So 2 weeks prior, it just so happens the last time you saw them is the time that they died. Like the moment after you were there doing maintenance work, they die, and then 2 weeks later you show up again. Both individuals advised they rarely saw the owners of the residence when conducting routine maintenance on the home. Both indicated they maintained contact with the homeowners through text message and phone calls, and primarily communicated with the family. Homeowner identified the deceased female as Betsy Arakawa. What does that say? Some content in this document, question and or answer. I didn't ask you to do anything. Look how stupid these AI assistants are. I'm just using Acrobat to open it up, and down below over on the right side it says some content in this document, question and or answer, violates the user guidelines. Well, I didn't ask you. I just want to read the damn document, you idiot. I mean, what is this AI crap over here? I mean, I get its usefulness, but like, this is stupid. And it even says right above it, he ground near the countertop inside the bathroom. The female was observed laying on her right side. And then they put that message on the screen. Both indicated they maintained contact with the homeowner through text messages and phone calls, and primarily communicated with the female homeowner, identified the deceased female as Betsy Arakawa. These two males identified Betsy's husband as Gene Hackman, or Eugene Allen Hackman. However, did not positively identify him as the deceased male. At this time, the male's true identity is unknown until further investigative research can be made. Well, I'm sure it's him. Deputy Thomas and Detective Joel Cano advised Santa Fe City Fire Department responded to the location and conducted testing to determine if there were signs of possible carbon monoxide leak or poisoning. He advised the fire department did not locate signs of a carbon monoxide leak or poisoning. Those firefighters were identified as Captain Daniel Laranga, firefighter Adrian, I don't really care. Affiant learned New Mexico Gas Company responded the residence and was conducting active testing on the gas line in and around the residence. Those individuals were identified as blah, 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 blah. After Affiant spoke to Corporal Alexandria Hancock, who advised the parcel of land and residence belongs to the trustee of Edgar Gross. She obtained this information from a company identified as OnX, which offers GPS mapping for hiking, hunting, and off-road events. Affiant conducted research and found that the Santa Fe County tax parcel website revealed the property was owned by Edgar F. Gross. So, was it just sort of like, maybe that's a kid of somebody, or I'm not sure. I thought Gene Hackman owned the property. Affiant is aware through training experience, individuals exposed to gas leaks or poisonous gas can suffer immediate and unexpected death. I don't know about that. Immediate. Affiant is aware through training and experience that individuals exposed to poisonous gas might not show apparent injuries. The search for and collection of items listed above to include biological material, trace evidence, or latent fingerprints at the residence can assist with determination and cause of death. There are no immediate signs or indications of blunt force trauma. However, Affiant is seeking to seize any blunt force objects in the event there is any indication of blunt force trauma once the Office of Medical Investigation arrives on the scene and conducts their initial field investigation and possible cause of death. At this time, the manner and cause of death pertaining to Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa passing is unknown. Affiant believes that the circumstances surrounding the death of the two deceased individuals to be suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation because the reporting party found the front door of the residence unsecured and open. Deputies observed a healthy dog running loose on the property, another healthy dog near the deceased female, a deceased dog weighing 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female. See, the deceased dog is a little, I guess if it was in a crate and they didn't mean to die, then the dog just couldn't get out. But they didn't mention that it was found in a crate in this document here. So it's 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom, the heater being moved, the pill bottle being opened and pills scattered next to the female, the male decedent being located in a separate room of the residence, and no obvious signs of gas leak. At this time, Affiant believes there is sufficient probable cause for the issuance of this search warrant. Any evidence collected could corroborate or refute statements made by those associated to the investigation and would assist law enforcement in determining the cause and manner of death in this death investigation. That's crazy. So we just got one of those fake bumps again on the show here. See that? Like a unusual number. Now there isn't 900 people watching. Right, I know they said there was no gas leak. But I think it is weird, you guys. We already know that they confirmed that there was no gas leak. We've said that 100 times, Columbo. We read it through the other articles. Alright. So, there's no gas leak. So, what is it? I mean, how does somebody, you know, if they're doing it together, you'd think they'd be in the same room wanting to die together. If there's some sudden event that killed all three, the dog and the two humans, why didn't it kill the other dog that was inside the house? And another thing is the door was open. So having the door open would dramatically reduce the chances of dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. You know, it's just a reality. When you have open, you know, gas can get out and exit the home. So something like that, they already said that that's not what happened. I know there isn't 1,200 and something people watching. That's just a bogus thing. It's absolutely not. It's not real. But you guys, I just read the whole thing, and we're absolutely getting crushed tonight. We're only at a quarter of a goal, and we've got one more day left. All right. So I don't know what to tell you guys tonight. What makes today different? See, look, that's the viewers. See that? So we were right there around 400. That was pretty reasonable. And all of a sudden, you know, that doesn't happen. Okay? Just doesn't happen. And then watch, in a minute it'll drop down quite a bit, and then it'll go back up again. You know, I always report these to YouTube because there's somebody that's like doing something to try to make it look like I buy viewers, but the truth is the view count doesn't even work with it. I mean, if it was, I'd have like 4,000 views already, but it isn't. Yeah, it's not real. Yeah, I don't even know what it says now. Now it says 1736. Yeah, and pretty soon it's going to stop and then drop. I'll show you. It'll make a little thing that goes like this. Watch. It'll go like Bart Simpson's hair. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Now, thanks Cheryl Bullock and Maureen on PayPal. Man, you guys, does this show that shitty? What happened? And Maureen. Thanks, Sally Cake. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's pretty weird, right? I mean, I think the most kind of simple thing would be that maybe, you know, Gene Hackman died of something and maybe was even given those, maybe they had a plan that they were going to take their own lives, and he took the drugs first, the same drugs that are in the bathroom, and then he died, and then she sort of frantically started taking her drugs, and then she died, and then for some reason they forgot to let the dog out of the crate that was in the bathroom, or maybe that dog is really old too and died exactly the same way, but they allowed the other two dogs that were maybe younger and somebody could adopt them or something, and they'd live longer but didn't want to, you know, could live with somebody else. You know, something like that. Doesn't that kind of sort of work with the information? Mm-hmm. No, it didn't mention anything about cameras, Karen. Probably would have heard the word. Yeah, now we're down to 16. Yeah, see, the thing is I have almost exactly the same number of views as where it says there are current viewers, which doesn't work like that. You know, it doesn't work. They're not actual viewers. They're just, it's some glitch. So currently we have one new channel member tonight, and we are at 1/4 of the goal, and we are at, and that's it. We were ending the month strong. I've been doing all my videos, trying to get things going, and not tonight. I'm thinking Gene died of natural causes. Yeah, maybe. Could have died of natural causes. I mean, that's the thing is I think Gene Hackman died first, and then she died. Now, whether or not he died, and it was some plan where he just didn't want to live anymore. It looked like he wasn't healthy, like something was going on there. Thanks, True Crime Nut. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth tonight. Right. Yeah, they didn't mention any cameras. Karen. Oh, come on, Mike. Really? I mean, just ran to get to the phone and died of a heart attack on the way there? All right, man. You might be right. You could be right. Who knows? Found him on the ground having a heart attack and ran to get medication for him, and she fell over a heater, spilled the pills, and died. So just so he died and then she died accidentally? I mean, man, that would just be a miracle in a bad way. I guess anything's possible. He's got the glasses next to him on the right side, his side. Thanks, Vicky Kennedy and Elizabeth Brown. All right. So let's put some of these up there. Okay, what were the ones up here? The other dogs too, they would have made arrangements for them. Yeah, or maybe they thought somebody would check on them a little bit quicker than 2 weeks. Okay, here's one. Oh, I gotta put the... Hold on. The screen's gonna go dark for a second. Yeah, that's not working either. Jeez, this is getting crazy. Is that? So now I can't even put your guys' comments on the screen. For some reason, those aren't working either. All stuff that always works, and somehow it's not working. Alright, so one of them was, my theory, she accidentally overdosed. And so she accidentally overdosed, but all of her pills are all over the place. He discovered her. And then he ran to get to the phone to call 911. And then he had a heart attack. Come on, Mike. That's pretty convenient stuff there. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Either one of Morrow or you or any of that. That just seems, I mean, anything's possible, I guess. It just seems. And then, why was there a dog in a kennel? Thanks, Kathy Fredmaker. Well, let's get everybody put your ideas and we'll go through each one and we'll see. Wife was killed first, pills poured out to make it look like she OD'd, and then he was tripped and he's so fragile he couldn't get up and died. So somebody else did it then, and that's why the door's open. Right. I mean, the thought about her being drugged sort of intentionally crossed my mind, but I mean, then she's still right there. Like somebody else did it, because I thought of the door being open. Yeah, so it's possible that somebody came in and sort of influenced what was going on. Wife was killed first, pills poured out to make it look like she OD'd, and then he was tripped. I mean, so somebody tripped him, like he ran and they stuck their foot out? I don't know. He couldn't take care of himself. But wouldn't he just have called 911, Lisa? Doesn't that seem kind of weird? That he, she dies of a heart attack and he didn't just grab the phone. He's not. He could walk. He had a cane. He could walk around. Yeah. Now if he fell and couldn't get up. Not if he fell and couldn't. Ah, come on, you guys. It's getting. Everybody's trying to make all these things. Just think about like the specific things that are going on. What's the most logical given the information that we have? There's a dog in a closet, and it was in a kennel apparently, and that's probably why it's not alive, because that dog, I think somebody came up with the idea up above that the dog starved. That kind of makes sense. Like in 2 weeks, the body's mummified, but the dog didn't have food for 2 weeks. And for some reason it was in the crate, There's various reasons you might put a dog in a crate. Like if it just is being too rambunctious for a while or something, and it's just like, come on, and you put it in the crate, just sort of like, get in there, and then you shut the door. And then somehow they died during that time frame, and they didn't think of letting the dog out, so the dog died of starvation. So let's just say the dog died of starvation. And then you think, well, what happened to the... the thing is we don't know why the dog died. If we have the answer to how the dog died, I think that's going to get you really close to getting what the answer is. Thanks, CR. But I guess you can't rule out anything. Maybe the story of, something happened to her and he ran and fell and died. Maybe that's real. I don't know. That just doesn't sound as likely as something else. But oftentimes the more unlikely thing is what happened. I guess we'll have to see. I'll be really looking forward to seeing what the autopsy and the final report is. He heard her fall in the bathroom and went hurriedly to see and fell, not being able to get up. So basically, they didn't say. They said he was like near the kitchen, not where she was. Her hands and feet. I thought her whole body was mummified, wasn't it? And I think certain parts of your body mummify first. I think your hands and feet first because they're not as... there's more... It's just kind of more like skin on your bone, right? Okay, after Deputy Thomas entered the residence, he immediately observed a bathroom to the left of the front door. The door to the bathroom was open. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a deceased female laying on the ground near the countertop inside the bathroom. The female was observed laying on her right side. He advised she was found wearing a dark gray sweatpants, light in color sweatshirt. The female was observed to have black in color hair. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a black in color space heater near the female's head. He advised he suspected the heater could have fallen in the event the female, so was it not standing up? Because a lot of times people put space heaters on the ground. So it must have been on the ground on its side or something in a way that didn't look natural for the space heater, for him to assume that. Don't you agree? So the space heater must not be... So when he just says, oh, there's a space heater on the ground next to the lady. Okay, well, people have space heaters on the ground, because you're in a bathroom. Maybe you want the little heat coming on the floor where you're standing there. But there must be, the way that the space heater is aligned on the ground, it didn't look natural that somebody placed it there. So that's why he's thinking maybe it, fell or... He advised he also observed an orange prescription bottle, the classic pill bottle, on the countertop near the deceased female. The prescription bottle appeared opened with pills scattered on the countertop. It would have been nice if they had told us what type of pill. Deputy Thomas advised the female decedent showed obvious signs of death, body decomposition, bloating in her face, and mummification in both hands and feet. Right. And that might be because her hands and feet were exposed to the air, and they said it's really dry out there. And the clothing maybe sort of keeps moisture in there, I would imagine. Something like that. Affiant learned Deputy Thomas and Barron continued to search the residence where they found deceased brown and colored German Shepherd canine. The deceased canine was located approximately 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. Hey, look, by the way, look, I told you guys. See the little Bart Simpson look? It's going like that. I told you it's going to do that. See? This is all bogus right here. None of these, because look at the total views right here. That would be normal for this, 400 or so. You get, you might have 2,000 views by now. But if you suddenly went from here to there, you'd be at like 3,000 something. Okay? So it's just totally bogus. Yeah. So what, Lynn? Let's see. Showed obvious signs of death, body decomposition. Yeah, so they found a German Shepherd canine. The deceased canine was located about 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. So was the closet shut, or was the dog... See, I'd like to just know more about the dog. The dog is sort of the key here, don't you think? Because dogs find ways to live. And I don't know, man. It's got to be something... Like if the door to the closet's open and they just found the dog in the closet, that's different than if it was locked in the closet or inside of a crate inside the closet where it couldn't get out. So I think when we get an answer to what happened to the dog, you'll be able to start having a more narrowed speculation. But hopefully before we get into that mode, we'll have more information. Deputy Thomas and Barron then proceeded to clear the other portions of the residence. In doing so, they observed a pair of feet and legs on the ground near the kitchen area. Deputy Thomas identified a male to be deceased in an area of the home he believed to be the mudroom. So it's not, I don't know if it's how close that is. We don't know where the kitchen is compared to the front door or the bathroom. But a mudroom is usually like a door that heads out to go outside where you could change shoes, etc. The deceased male, who was found wearing gray sweatpants and bluer colored sleeve t-shirt and a walking cane. Deputy Thomas indicated he observed a pair of sunglasses located near the decedent's left side of his body. Based upon Deputy Thomas' training and experience, he suspects the male individual had suddenly fallen. I guess. Deputy Thomas advised the male decedent also showed obvious signs of death, similar and consistent with the female. Right. Mudroom's sort of like it's a door, or a little room between entering the house and going outside, where you could maybe take off a pair of muddy boots, get on some slippers, and go inside the house. That's what that is. But I think the dog is kind of like, if we get the answer to that, because that's an unusual portion. It kind of reminds you a little bit of that family in, I think it was California. They all went hiking, and remember, they all died, even the dog, and people thought it was some kind of gas or something, but it turns out it was just they all died from heat exposure, even the dog. The dog death in that one also, to me, was interesting, because dogs, they just find ways to live. They're going to go run up or do something, Pretty weird. And by the way, there isn't 1,800 and something people watching, if you're here. All right, we're currently at 50% now of the nightly goal. Fortunately, it sounds like investigators went into this with a preconceived idea of what. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because they first thought it was suspicious, and then they say, well, there was no gas. I don't know. I don't have that feeling like they're like tunnel vision or anything. Oh, we got the 911 call. Looks like Zozo has the 911. Let's see what it sounds like.
Santa Fe 911, what is your emergency?
Hello, my name is I'm the caretaker for Santa Fe Summit. I'm here about past 10,000 waves. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. House. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no one.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting. He said they found two people. Yeah, that we just found two. I mean, why was he saying two? I mean, why was he saying two people? Because remember, he just looked at the window and saw her in the bathroom.
Up here about past 10,000 waves. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate.
Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Okay, my units are on their way, okay?
Yeah, you wonder if they went through the front door and... Huh, that's a little weird, don't you think? How did they know that there were two dead people in there if you just looked through the window? And you can hear one of the dogs barking.
Santa Fe 911, what is your emergency?
Hello, my name is I'm the caretaker for Santa Fe Summit. I'm here about past 10,000 waves. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate.
Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Okay, my units are on their way.
Yeah, I think they went inside the house. But then why change it then? I guess that's the thing is, if you went inside, why would you change it to 2 to 1? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you look, see, I hate when there's suspicious shit like that. Because if you're just looking through the window, and maybe he just was assuming that 2 were dead. If one of them's dead, and nobody's doing anything, there's probably 2 dead. But if he, yeah, it's like, that's kind of weird, to say, Well, there's 2 deceased. So if you'd gone inside, and then he could said, yeah, we went inside and there was 2 deceased people, nobody would even think anything of it. But then he thought, ooh, that's a mistake. Okay, I saw 1 because I looked at the window. Well, then why did you say 2 then originally? See, and that's one of those things that's going to cause problems. It could actually just be, you know, a mistake. And every mistake doesn't mean something nefarious like it seems like in every true crime case. But I guess we'll have to see what they say later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Maybe let me hear it again.
Son of 911, what is your emergency?
Hello, my name is I'm the caretaker for Santa Fe Summit. I'm here about past 10,000 waves. I think we just found 1 deceased person inside a house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate.
Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Okay, my units are underway, okay?
And where does it say it was locked?
It's a typical procedure. Check your luggage, go through security.
They cut some of that out. I could see it on the screen. So I don't know why they had to cut it all out. All right, do I have to throw myself in jail again tonight, you guys? I think that's about my only option. So I've obviously been mean to somebody tonight. Had to have been somewhere, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's a longer version. I don't have it. If you've heard a longer version, let me know. But who's throwing me in prison? And we're on here. We've already been on here for almost an hour and a half, and not even half. He says it later. He didn't though. I just listened to it. He didn't say that. Clancy and Benny. Clancy and Benny, and we still the camera just situation with the dogs isn't really that great right now because they're all kind of scattered all over the place. So one of these days I'll bring him back in to the room. Maybe I'll do it here in a minute. Oh yeah, well, I just got thrown in prison by let's see, Moofies and Alley Cake. All right, good times. All right, I must have done something really. I always do something. It's like you throw me in prison, as you know. Sometimes you spank your kid for good measure, because they obviously did something at some point. You just missed it. I think that's me. All right, so we got CR. That's probably enough for a file and a cake. All right, for me to get the hell out of this thing. I always do something, Moofies. Right, exactly. Like sometimes kids, you know, I remember when we were a kid, there'd be something like, I don't know if it was us, but I remember saying, you know, like, you get spanked for good measure. You obviously did something. Yeah, I don't know if that's what it is, Barbara. That was a long time ago, and I just threw it out there at the beginning. I said she seems too young. All right, Moofy's got me some ramen. All right. Wow, Jesus, you guys are loading me up with ramen, but how the hell do I get out of here is the question. Right, Alley Cake? How in the heck do I get out? Remember when that one, what was her name? Jeez, can't even remember now. It's been so long. She'd always do no bail, and it's like a negative. But you just said no bail, Cindy, without anything. Hey, thanks, other end. Skipped out on the morning ding-dong. All right, ding-dongs or ho-hos? I like ho-hos better than ding-dongs. All right, I think they taste kind of similarly. Didn't Gray say I did live in New Mexico. Well, they said this time of year, it's usually, well, kind of high. Santa Fe is high up in the air. So it's probably pretty dry, and it's pretty amazing area, really. And then Moofies gave me no bail. So now I'm -2. Or only at 8 now. Oh, yeah? Well, there you go, Columbo. That's some good investigative work right there. Females like ding-dongs, guys like ho-hos. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. So not like a desert. I think it's just high and dry. Yeah, it's not really a desert. Look, you can, I mean, see, these are all trees, all these things. I don't remember. I wish I had the address where we lived. There was nobody there at all. It was just completely. It was a pretty cool place when you were a kid. I remember there was black widows and tarantulas and all kinds of different creatures running around. I mean, lizards, blue-tailed swifts, and these different. We even found a Gila monster one time out there. It was wild. And we even found obsidian arrowheads, etc., just randomly, just on the property. The coolest thing was when you'd have a flood, and they would create, it would rain so hard that, and water on your property would get into a channel and create what's called an arroyo. And it would just go, and like all night, just a thundering storm. Hey, thanks, Moofies. And it would just be a thundering storm, and it would go on and on and on. And then when you wake up in the morning, there's this like small canyon where there wasn't one before. But what was amazing were all the amazing things you could find in that, like geodes. You'd find like these crystals, big, the big spheres, when you cut them in half and they got all the stuff inside. I mean, it was unbelievable, really. I don't know. I wish that was sort of a common thing everywhere, but it's not. Hey, thanks, Moofies, for some bail there, and also to Jessica Miller. And then Alley Cake, a bike ride. You mean, so no Uber? Is that what you're saying? No Uber to the hotel room, and no hotel, just a bike? Why don't you get me a knapsack then? Or what are the little bindle where you put on a stick and I can be a hobo? That's probably good enough to get me bailed out, I guess. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so you guys all put your theories in there. Okay, I'll tell you what. For Mike up there, if your theory is right, I'll send you a hoodie, okay? If your theory is right that she overdosed and he ran and had a heart attack when he hit the ground, I'll send you a hoodie, okay? There we go, there we go. And then he fell and he couldn't get up. Oh, I got a backpack. All right. Okay, I got a backpack, and I've got some ho-hos in it. Hey, thanks, Sherry C. Well, I appreciate it. But I don't want, if you're struggling, you don't have to, I'm not asking you to support my channel. If you feel like you can, then that's great, but I don't want, if people can afford it, that's who I want supporting the channel. But I appreciate but I love this channel. That was a nice thing to say. I don't know why stuff isn't working on here tonight. Let me try this one more time on the overlay. Yeah, this should work. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to... It's supposed to pop up on the screen right there. Probably just need to have one of those reboots, I guess. Yeah, the stuff that they're looking for, I don't really care. That's just like a standard warrant. They're just going to go look through things and see if they can find other things. The autopsy is going to tell the answer, though, right? Right? That's where you're going to get the answer, is an autopsy. Oh, Mike said, sent me a coffee. So, Mike, there you go. You heard what I said, though, right? All right, thanks, man. Got me a few coffees there. Let's see. He said, only if he was running outside to yell for help. Okay. But he wasn't. Well, he was heading out, but I can't remember what your exact story was up above, but let's see. Maybe if I can just stumble upon it. Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't it. That was another comment. If Gene was headed out for the mudroom, or... Yeah, I don't remember what I can't find the theory. Oh, was it the other Mike? Which Mike is the one that had the theory that I was reading? Okay. Hey, Gray, can I email the case that just happened up here in North Idaho? Yeah, you can email it to me. I probably won't do it tonight or anything, but... Okay, that's sort of interesting. Shiara. Are they on Epstein's list or something? And they knew the list was coming out. And, you never know, man. You never know. I don't want to think that about Gene Hackman, though. Yeah, he's just the best. I'm sure he'd love to hear about it. Send an email. I was making fun of the other Mike, saying Gene fell running for the phone, running. Oh, okay. All right, well, the other Mike, then. That's who the deal is with. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I was thinking that maybe they knew something about Epstein because they didn't live too far from his Zorro ranch. Yeah, and they had been there since the 80s, right? So, you know, that's actually mildly interesting given the timing. However, you know, I would say likely not that, but, you know, I can't say, nope, that's impossible. I don't know if I got your email from the other day. I don't know what that means. What you should do is just send it again, you know, instead of saying that. Go, hey, Gray, I just sent you the email I sent before. I don't know if you got it or not. But now, let me see. I think so. Weren't you responding to one from before? Oh, the Delphi video one? Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, watch the Delphi walk in the woods. Thought it was okay. I could tell that they cut information out from what Jerry Holman was saying. He was trying to... They say, well, why do you think Keegan Klein... Or not Keegan... Why do you think Ron Logan would have lied like that? And he goes, well, and it... I mean, there's an answer for it. And I actually asked him, I go, they cut you off on that, didn't they? And he goes, yeah. Yeah, so there you go. It's just garbage how they edit stuff like that to tell a story. Yeah, something like that. And maybe the dog was accidentally, you know, out of her grief, just sort of forgot about the dog being in there. I don't know. That is weird. I gotta admit, it's weird. It's weird, first of all, to have 2 adults die and there's no gas, apparently. So that means it doesn't seem... What's weird about it to me, here's what I'll say about it, is there's nothing sort of natural about it. Like gas, even though it's not natural, it's a natural, like, okay, it's obvious, blah, 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 blah. This is not normal. Like, you do not have 2 people die just sort of separately in the same moment in time from something unrelated. So whatever killed both of them, you would think is the same thing. But there's people suggesting in here that it was 2 different things. And man, what are the odds of that? That's just... maybe his age makes it more likely that something like that could happen. But then you throw the dog in there, and then the dog really creates even more sort of weirdness to it. That's not natural. You know, and was the dog in a crate and locked in there, and maybe they forgot that it was in there for a moment. Or they didn't forget, they died suddenly from something, and the dog just never was able to get out of it. So you got all those things, you know. And there was another dog that was in the house that was alive. However, the door was open. So was that dog, like the other dog, running around outside until the front door was opened by perhaps somebody? And then the dog came in, the one? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a series of unfortunate events and they're all separate. Yeah. I think that's like, that'd be astronomical. And so I guess you could say the 2 deaths could be a series of deaths, and the dog's death is an unfortunate outcome of both of them dying because the dog wasn't able to get out of wherever it was. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think anybody deliberately harmed the dog. But although you could look at it, let's say the dog was 15 years old and he's 95, and maybe it is something where they all just kind of, you know, did a Jerry Jones, or just sort of took their own lives somehow and allowed the other 2 dogs that were young, that could maybe find different owners, you know, to just kind of run around. But it also has a feeling like it was not planned, like it was something that happened abruptly, doesn't it? Because you got these pills all over the place. You got him in a mudroom and her on the bathroom floor. Yeah, Jim Jones. Yeah, it just feels like it's like kind of like off a little bit. Like something happened quickly. And so that makes it not seem like a pact that they had, because it was done fast. So if you take the pact out of it, and they all die quickly, both of them do, and you would think Hackman, at his age of 95, would be the one that would most likely have died of something sort of natural there. And then maybe her seeing that and not being able to wake him, but you would think she would have called 911 to say, hey, my husband, he hit the ground. But that never happened. So it seems unlikely that she would stumble upon him, find him there, unless she was, let's say she was outside for 2 hours, comes back in and she sees that he's dead, and just absolutely freaks out and knows he's dead, and then doesn't try to even call 911, and then starts sucking down pills, lays on the ground in sort of a fetal position, and just sort of dies there. But then again, there's a dog, and maybe she just didn't think about the dog. I don't know. He's the one that would die first naturally. 95 years old, she's 60 something. I know, people want it to be she died first. I don't know. Hers doesn't. I don't think she was first. And the reason I don't think she was first is because there's pills scattered all over the place. That means like she did something hurriedly at the end. Like, oh my God, and she took these pills, and maybe she was standing there. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird one. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it makes the most sense. Let's see. I hate when you guys do the team thing. I'm with you, man. Oh yeah. You guys know what the history on here has been, right? Just like Debbie Collier. She was a caretaker. Although this one I don't have any, I don't have a strong feeling either way. I just think it's more likely that you know what? I don't know. If she was the caretaker, she could have had a medical situation and died first, and then Jean didn't call 911. Come on, you guys. Haven't I taught you guys over the time to, think through stuff a little bit more logically? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, wouldn't Jean have called 911 to help the... And then you're going to say that he tripped and fell when he was running to call 911 and died too, and then couldn't get up, and then a dog was left... I don't know, man. That just seems like too crazy of a string of crazy stuff to happen. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, now he could have dementia, and he just sort of walked over and laid on the ground and died. He just kept walking around his wife for days. Right, yeah, it could be possible, right? But what do you think the odds of that are? Very likely what, Joyce? You didn't have a full sentence. You just typed in words. Nobody knows what you're referring to. There was an accident while she was taking pills. He heard it and fell. The dog ate some pills or dies of neglect. What do you mean, or dies of neglect? Let's see. Sorry about that, Sherry. My dog is 16. Never locked him in a room. He did not trip and fall. He had a heart attack and he fell. We don't know, Mike. So she's dead, and then he had a heart attack and fell too. So he sees her on the bathroom floor, and then he has a heart attack and dies after seeing that. Is that what you're trying to say, Mike? You're the Mike with the it would win a hoodie if that's what happened. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Maro Teal. She killed him for life insurance, but regretted it after and took her own life. And life of the... come on, that's ludicrous, that one. But everybody's entitled to an opinion. Life insurance, then regretted it, and took her own life, and then killed the dog out of spite. You know, screw that dog. I'll let the other ones live, though. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think the one dog just sort of died accidentally, like they didn't, you know. The dog dying makes you believe that something somewhat quick happened, but then there's these pills, right? So this is one of those really weird mysteries. You know, like if there's no pills spread around, you would think that there was something that happened quickly that killed both of them. But the other one has pills laying around, and there's pills all over the counter, and it feels like you know, like, did she overdose with those, or did he take those and took too many, and then she, you know, it's just, this isn't one of those ones that's a this equals that, this equals this. Everything you have to come up with is really wild speculation almost. Hey, thanks, K-Me. So what I'd like to try to do is come up with a theory that's the most reasonable based on the information that you have. All right? Now, the problem with this one is you get into that weird circular logical thing where you're stuck. Like you think something and they go, oh wait, what about the dog, right? And if we had more information about the dog, I thought in one article it said something like that it was in a crate. Okay, so if the dog was in a crate, then it's pretty easy to, like I would say about an 80% plus chance that that dog didn't die they didn't kill the dog intentionally. It just happened to be in a crate at the time that both of them died. All right, so let's then throw the dog aside from the conversation then. All right, you take that out. And then what could have happened that was kind of sudden? And I guess those are the stories that other people are saying, that maybe you know, some people think that maybe the wife died first. You know, for some reason she stood there and sucked down a bunch of pills, stood there, and then just kind of hurriedly jammed them into her mouth, and then just stood there for minutes and minutes and minutes, and just stood there, and then died. And then Gene comes walking in and sees her on the ground and goes, oh my God, and he's on his way to go to a phone, and then he falls on the ground and he dies of a heart attack. You got that one. Then you got one where, let's say, Gene dies. He's on the ground, and she sees him. Maybe she was outside for a while, knew he was dead, and then she just freaked out, wanted to be with him wherever he is. Took some pills. But then wouldn't she have laid down next to Gene? See, that's where there's all kinds of the contradictory information. If you're killing yourself because you love somebody, you likely would have taken the drugs, walked over, laid on the ground next to Gene in the mudroom, right? But that isn't what happened. Her death seems quick, and his death seems quick. In fact, they say that they fell to the ground. Well, when you take drugs, like I said earlier, you obviously you don't just die immediately when you take the drugs. It takes a while for it to kind of kick into your system, and then eventually you get kind of dizzy, etc. But both of them appear to have had sort of a quick end. And then you start thinking, you know, is it possible that somebody came in there and did something to him? Because that sort of makes actually more sense than anything else, doesn't it? I mean, it's weird, but it does. Because you have the dog, you know, it's just in a crate, and they were keeping it there for a while. Just maybe it was being rambunctious or whatever. I don't have any problem with people putting dogs in crates at all. No issue at all. That's why they exist, actually. But so the thing is, you put the dog in the crate, and then something happens to them by somebody else. And what that is, we don't know. But it doesn't sound like, you know, their bodies are mummified, and it's 2 weeks of decomp. So maybe it wasn't something easily seen, but maybe in the autopsy they'll come up with that. But it actually makes more sense that somebody came in and then their deaths were associated with that person, and that's why the dog ended up dying. Because there wasn't a human to let the dog out, and it was quick, and there was no thought about it. So I'm not saying that's, you know, I'm just saying it it actually does make the most sense, but apparently that's not likely. So after that, where do you go from there? So he comes in and has a sudden death, and then she has a sudden death too. And then the dog dies because I think both of them would have had to die suddenly to not remember to let the dog out. I think that's probably the most likely thing, is that something happened to both of them in a short amount of time suddenly, and that's why the dog wasn't set free and couldn't drink water and died. Something like that. We don't even know why the dog died, though. It could have been died from drugs. Yeah. I know, it's not. That's the thing, is 2 sudden deaths is... But that's what you guys keep saying, right? It sort of feels like it's 2 sudden deaths. Yeah. And they even said it like that they both fell to the ground. So was one on the ground for an hour and the other one waited to do their drugs and then killed themselves out of grief? But again, wouldn't you kill yourself? Put a 1 if you were doing that. Wouldn't you kill yourself out of grief right next to your partner? Okay, put a 1 if you agree with that. Maybe we should do polls here. This might be a good poll. Let's see. Right. Well, there you go. See? All right. So this is just, did each of them die suddenly? That's it. Did each of them die suddenly? Okay, so you got a lot of people saying no. Okay, so where's the no part? She stayed in there not to see Jean's body, sat on tub edge, fell. I don't believe that at all, Mike. You're just trying to make your story work at this point. Let's see. Poor Gene, such a talented guy. He was great. All right, so when you guys are saying that they didn't both die suddenly, did either who? Okay, I'm gonna do a different post then. A different one. Okay, I'm going to end this one up here. Which person died? All right, here we go. So in this one it says, which person died suddenly? So out of the 2 people that were found dead, which one is it? Yeah, maybe, but it seems like she would have died right next to Jean instead of way over by a toilet. That just makes, doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't everybody think that at least one of them died suddenly? Is there anybody out there that doesn't think that? I didn't ask anything for both. I said out of either one, which one died suddenly? Okay. Because Jean, wife, I guess I could do one where... All right, guys, we're still not at the goal yet. We are at 75%. So if you guys could please help support the channel, it allows me to keep doing these shows. And by the way, here's the Bart Simpson. Look at that. See that? Total garbage. Complete crap. It's not real. While walking and couldn't get himself to a phone. Yeah, people already said that one. That's just... I mean, okay, how about this one? I want to ask this question, and this should be 100%. All right, there you go. Yeah, that's why I've said 100 times. The dog creates problems. We just have to know how the dog died. If it died of thirst or something like that, then then it accidentally got left in there when they were dead. Okay, well this one should be 100%. Okay, I don't know where it would be any other option. Like one of them, what? They didn't die suddenly. Okay, so the other one is the wife took a long time to die. Then when Gene was outside, he came in and he saw her, and then he went running and fell, and he just couldn't get up, and he died on the ground too. And then none of them could get to the kennel to let the dog out. We went over the entire warrant, Kayla, so I don't know where you were when we read that, but went through it twice. Good for you, Kitty. We weren't really doing anything where we were writing down where everybody was from, but hey, all right. Locked in a crate and starved. Was free roamed in the house bathroom, but it ingested the pills. Well, no, because it was found in like a closet. Which one of the boys is older, Gray? Benny's older than Clancy. I think he's like 7 months old and he's 6. Yeah. They were dead for a couple weeks, they think. Well, they might be able to tell who died first. Maybe there's like, if they could somehow, I don't know, you'd have to know what they were eating and things like that, but I mean, it would just have to be based on the forensics. Somehow they could figure it out. I don't know. It's going to be tough. We don't know who died first. Yeah, we're going to get the autopsy. What do you mean, wait? You want us to stop talking, Sherry? Is that what you're getting at? Yeah, we'll definitely get the autopsy at some point. Fentanyl? You think they took fentanyl? Yeah, we've heard that one 100 times, Enigma of Truth. That's literally like the 20th time somebody's typed that same thing in. I wish we could see the layout of the inside of the house. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see where the mudroom is. No, you just said let's just wait for the autopsy. I hate the word spitball. Don't ever use it again in here. I'm banning it. That's what the dipshit UK Brian Koberger YouTuber, he says every single time when he knows he's putting out total bullshit for his people to watch. He uses the word spitball so he can later claim, yeah, I was just, I was just speculating, everybody. Yeah. Alright, well that's it. I don't have any more to do on this one. Alright, so yeah, well, I guess we'll wait for the autopsy and we'll be able to determine what the hell happened. They'll let us know. And we'll see how close we were. My theory is that, let's see, the dog was, I mean, here's the thing, we don't even know where the dog was. One person said it was in a kennel. They said it was in a closet inside the bathroom. Did it want, or was it the closet door open and it wandered in and died. Maybe it did eat the pills on the ground too. You know, who the hell knows, you know? We're going to have to wait, as I was just told. Yeah. Well, I want to see the report. Did it come out today? Here, let me see. Hey, thanks, Karen. I thought you guys all forgot about me in here. This channel relies on you guys to make its goals and be able to survive, and then also keep our charities and so forth that I give out of the income of the channel from all my channels, meaning channels of revenue like ad revenue, the channel memberships, super chats, etc. Coffees, all of that. Yeah, well, where does it say it was inside of a crate in a closet? All right, well, in the document we just read, it never said anything about a crate. Do we know how they were dressed? Yeah, we went through all that. Sweatpants, you know, kind of comfortable stuff. The color of it doesn't matter. Just sweatpants, shirts, stuff like that. I don't think he said it in the press conference. I think I can find that, though.
What's the latest on the investigation into the death of Gene Hackman and his wife?
You know, we've struggled to release as much information as we can, as we have. There may be a press release that comes out this afternoon. You know, the search warrant was executed just before 10 o'clock p.m. last night, and so they've been working diligently through the.
Yeah, hold on. They just answered it. I answered it for you, Karen, on the show. Just sweatpants, stuff like that. See, right here it says he suspects the male individual had suddenly fallen. Right here it says she was wearing dark gray sweatpants and a light and color sweatshirt, and she had black hair. Where's the other one? Why is a male decedent also show? Okay, right here. Oh, right here. Deputy Thomas identified a male, and he was wearing sweatpants and a blue-colored long-sleeve T-shirt, brown slippers, and walking cane. All right. There you go. You got it?
The night and starting again in the morning to completely process the scene. And so we're still in the preliminary steps of the investigation. There's not a lot of new information that's available, but you know, we will try to include that in our press release this afternoon as soon as the investigators hopefully are finished processing the scene.
Can you confirm if they have been deceased for a long period of time? I was told.
So the slipper means that he was walking around in the house. He wasn't just outside. If he's wearing slippers, that means he was inside the house when he fell suddenly.
Told maybe a week or two.
You know, all I can say is they have been deceased for quite a while. You know, that's a determination that's better suited for OMI and the experts, but it sounds like they had been deceased for a while, and I don't want to take a guess in reference to how long that was.
Who found them? Was it these two maintenance workers, I believe?
So from what I understand, there was a gentleman that was doing some pest control work that had gone to the Hackman residence. and he noticed that they weren't home, which was odd, I guess, as far as he was concerned. He made contact with a security officer that was there, either patrolling or in the subdivision, and then it was a security officer that went to the house and had discovered the individuals in the home.
You guys are ruling out foul play, though.
We're not ruling it out. What I did state was there was no obvious sign or indication of a foul play. There was no immediate sign of foul play. Haven't ruled that out yet. This is an investigation, so we're keeping everything on the table. I think the autopsy is going to tell us a lot, and any evidence that we collect, but I haven't ruled any of that out yet.
Miss Tasmaka!
You talk about the carbon monoxide aspect. I know they tested for that.
Remember that on Superman when he kept saying like his assistant's name, that lady, Miss Tussmucker or something like that.
Yeah. So obviously it's not I wouldn't say odd, but it's not normal to find two people deceased in a residence. That's concerning. And then there was also a dog that was in a kennel that was also found deceased.
Now, they did say there was a dog in a kennel, and a minute ago in the document it says it was in a closet, so that means it was in a kennel and a closet. I mean, that seems kind of excessive a little bit. I mean, everybody, if you have a kennel, you just put the dog in a kennel, but it's weird to have a kennel and then it's also in a closet. So could that be somebody that was in the house and then made them put the dog in the kennel and then moved it into a closet? Because that's the dog that would, maybe they knew that dog barked more than the others or was more of an attack dog. I mean, who the hell knows? And then, yeah, it's just kind of, it's not, I don't think it's excessive at all to put a dog in a kennel, But then to put it in a closet, that's the only part that's excessive about it. So when you say mildly, that's not really. And what country are you in?
We don't know the cause of that, obviously, but on our experience and working on cases like this, that is a possibility.
Right, maybe it's making noise.
We called in the fire department, we called in P&M to go through the house, do some testing to figure out if it was even safe for our officers to go in.
It didn't look like a huge mansion, actually.
They stated that it was safe. I don't have the details of exactly what they located or what they didn't locate. It was determined that it was safe. We had been going in and out of the house. I don't know if that affects, if there was a concentration of any gas, including carbon monoxide. So, that's yet to be determined.
What did it say to you that the front door was open when their bodies were discovered?
Yeah, they were home. So, I don't know if that was, if it was left ajar. There was no indication.
Right. But how come the two people called and then one said there was two? I mean, one.
That was missing from the home or disturbed. That would be indication that there was a crime that had occurred. There was no indication of that. As far as, there could be a multitude of reasons why the door was open.
Obviously a very high-profile case. You're getting attention from all over the world. How does the department handle that?
The same
I don't agree, Moofis. I think it's 3,512 feet. You're way off.
We want to make sure that we get the investigation completed properly, and we want to release the proper information, and sometimes that takes time. And so I just ask people that, and then the media, to be patient.
It's not a very big. It's not a mansion at 3,500 square feet.
When the time is right, and when they're factual.
Yeah. Well, it'll be nice to reach the goal tonight, you guys, on the last night before our donation night. Hey, look at this though. Didn't I tell you? Look at that. Ding, 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 ding. Bart Simpson haircut. And then straight down to the normal level. See that? $399 and $417. All this, whatever that is, I don't know what that is. Yeah. No idea. I know. What do you mean you just read that, Karen? We went over that 3 or 4 times earlier. Literally. I questioned it. I immediately heard him say there's 2 or 1, and then he changed it back to 1. How would he have known that there were 2 unless he went inside the house? Yep, we went over all that. Man, you should watch the show a little bit. Perfect timing because the Oscar Academy Awards are Sunday. Well, he wasn't going to win one, so I don't think the timing of that has anything, the Oscars or anything has anything to do with anything. I have seen those type of closets in 2-bedroom apartments that were considered luxury. That's so weird. I wonder what's happening when that does that. I mean, it's so obvious. It's like this little... And it doesn't even add up on my views. That's the weird part. It doesn't show up on my view count. So it's not like something that benefits anything. Alright. Well, I don't know, you guys. Sounds like we're having a struggle night. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on tomorrow's video. Alright? So thank you guys for being here. I was going to do that other case, but yeah, forget it. Got Vicky White, Monica Reeves, Kay Me, Allie Cake, Amber Maiden, Esther Melgoza, gifted a membership. Then we have Eminem. Then Karen, then Amy Moore, then Allie Cake, Michelle H, Allie Cake, True Crime Nut, Vicky Kennedy, Elizabeth Brown, Kathy Friedenmaker, CR gifted a membership, then Elizabeth Brown, then CR, then Moofies, Allie Cake, CR, Heather N, Moofies, Allie Cake, Moofies, Jessica Miller, then Allie Cake, CR, Sherry C, Karen, K Me, Karen again, and then K Me gifted a membership, right? Alright, well, make sure to go watch that video that I put out earlier. Maybe you like it. Alright. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so tell that next time. Tomorrow's donation night, though, you guys. So tomorrow's got to be what we normally used to do to make this month, so we can get to like a normal level. It's not even normal, even if we did what we used to do. But at least we'll be able to do something. I was hoping today would be a great day, and then tomorrow could even be just sort of a really good day, and then we'd have a good last couple days. But today turns out it's not one of those, and tomorrow we need to have a better one. All right? So thanks, everybody. See you guys later. And be safe out there. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing Epstein. I'm not doing any of the other ones. And by the way, Epstein didn't have... the documents sucked. There was nothing in them. Basically, the same names that we've always heard all the time. And the only thing that was sort of interesting was that the Pam Bondi, she thought she was putting out... Here, I'll show you this one thing here. She said she's writing Kash Patel, the new FBI director, and she's wondering what the hell was going on, because they only put out... we'll just read it. Before you came into office, I requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. So that's before he came into office. In response to the request, I received approximately 200 pages of documents, which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and a list of victims' names and phone numbers. I repeatedly questioned whether this was full set of documents responsive to my request, and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn this new information. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, that's tomorrow morning, you guys, the 28th, the FBI will deliver the full, complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents. I think Pam Bondi's even higher than the FBI, I think. Audio and video recordings and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. There will be no withholding or limitations to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of victims and in accordance with law, as I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. I am also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver to me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personnel action within 14 days. I appreciate your immediate attention to this important matter. I know that we are both committed to transparency for the American people, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to serve our president and our country. Man, Pam Bondi's freaking like she's awesome. And obviously she has power over the FBI, so she's wondering why the hell she didn't get the documents that she thought she was putting out there. No. See, the thing is, though, so when we get a cold, dead night, it's like it's hard to just keep doing a show and show and show for hours and hours and hours when I could be working on something for tomorrow, because I've got to keep going. But the stuff that they release are just, flight logs, and they redacted people's names and stuff like that. I don't know. If I stay on, is it going to be worth the time staying on to do this? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, because it got really brutal there for a while. Yeah, Gene Hackman is, I would say, I think Gene Hackman is one of my all-time favorites, if not the favorite. Well, when you say yes, are you going to be helping support the channel there, KK? Yeah, it's. I think he's one of my all-time favorites. Literally, just. He might even be my favorite. Like, he's just incredible. Every character he portrays, it's really good. Yeah, I wasn't talking to you, Mike. I'm not sure why you. I was just about ready to go over the ones inside of here, though. It was. Let's see, it was Buy Me a Coffees. We had somebody that said someone, and then Mike Weber, and then there was two. We had Maureen and Cheryl Bullock on PayPal. Yeah, it's. I know what you're saying, but I have to be mindful of my time, Karen. Right? So that's the thing. Like, when I do these shows and the channel's being supported and everything like that, we can do another, then we can keep going, etc. Then it makes sense. But when it's just sort of like hours and hours and hours of shows, like a couple nights ago, it was crazy. About an hour and a half of no support, then it's hard, right? Because then it's like I could be working on something for tomorrow, maybe a video that will help the channel out. And that's where the struggle is. So I've tried to explain it to you 100 times. I'm not sure why we keep getting the questions. Hey, thanks, KK. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is just some, I don't even want to go through this. It's too small, just different items. And I guess this is a aircraft make and model. This must be the flight log here, one of them. They just said it was because his glasses were next to him. That's what they said. Are we going over this or the Gene Hackman case? Come on. Jesus, you guys. It's hard to make out the names on there. something like Coleman, Levy. Is that the pilot? Now those are names. So Jeffrey Epstein. Why couldn't they give us a really clear version here? Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. That's the girlfriend or wife, or whatever the hell she was. And then Roger Ale? Is that's not Ale, right? Or Shale? Jeffrey Epstein, Pax, Jeffrey Epstein, his wife, and Abby and Christy. It's, you know, sort of interesting. They don't ever put their real full names on there. No, not these joggers I just showed you on the screen, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Some of these are. Jeffrey and the girlfriend, and then above, so it's the same. And these, can't make out any of these. Yeah, it seems kind of weird how the ones that are not Epstein 100 times, you can't make them out. Like this one. What is that? Yeah, well, they didn't say how his arms were. They just said the glasses were next to his side, and that's why he determined he must have just fallen on the ground. They didn't say how his arms were or anything like that. Jeffrey and Heather. Don't know who that is. I mean, it just goes on and on, you guys. Do you think I should try to, like, what if I throw this into, I don't know if ChatGPT could tell me what these names are. And there's literally 118 pages of this. Yeah, we've already been there, Karen, on the screen. You see this right here? See that? Are you trolling me tonight, Karen? Honestly? I think you might be. Pam Stevens, James Murphy, I don't know. Well, but that's what Pam Bondi wanted, all the documents released. So she's out there getting them now. And Kash Patel just got there, so he wasn't really aware of what was, all that. That's kind of not a high level thing, you know. And it's not like a huge national, deal. Just kind of like, oh yeah, we need to release these. I mean, a lot of these you can't even read. That looks like Jeffrey Epstein, Ann, GM. Whoever that is. Yeah, that's probably his that G letter. Let's just try something else. Maybe there's some more. So all of these are... so there's actually... that's 20 pages of flight logs. There's literally like 9 of these filled with flight logs. These are easier to read. Now right here there's one that says Donald Trump, Marla, Tiffany. These are all the kids and everything. Tiffany. So Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Marla. He wouldn't allow him to come to his property in 2007, or something he did in 2007. He never let him come back again. And a lot of people knew him. You know. Thanks, Sandy Shirley. I think GH died. She found him. That's my initials. Come on, you're tripping me out. And felt chest pain. Went for nitroglycerin. Attack and drive. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's why it says Marla. Miles flown doesn't say that. Flight number 51617. I mean, the thing is Trump wanted these out, so he knows he didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, he banned Epstein. So yeah, these people flew in his plane, but there's no way he'd go, yeah, put those out, everybody, if he had something to do with it. Something. That's all right. Anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm not pumped to go over this right now. I'm gonna wait for tomorrow when they come out with a bigger list of information. I don't have time to go through 600 pages and try to look through each of the names. Okay. Let me see what ChatGPT can do with one of these, though. I don't think you guys would do it either. If you've already done 2.5 hours of shows and then people want you to read 1,000 pages of documents. Yeah, I don't think that's reasonable. Let's see. What happens if you just throw that in there? I'm not sure it'll be able to do it because it's not text. I mean, if the show was just on that, it'd be more interesting. But it's hard to start going through
the document you uploaded appears to be a flight log released as part of U.S. It contains records of aircraft flights, including departure and arrival locations, aircraft identification, flight miles, flight numbers, and other related data. Summary of the flight log. The document lists multiple flights associated with various aircraft. It details locations of departure and arrival, which could indicate where high-profile individuals traveled, includes dates and flight numbers for each trip, contains aircraft identification numbers and models. Signatures of pilots appear on the pages, certifying the accuracy of the recorded flights. Would you like a more detailed breakdown of specific flights, locations, or names associated with these flights?
Okay. All right, let's see what it says.
I will extract and list the names associated with the flights from the log. This may take a moment. I'll process the document and display the relevant names for you.
No, I want you to read them. Okay, well, you're not the reader. All right, let's see what it says. Here we go. Unable to display visualization. Oh. It says it looks like the document might not contain easily extractable names in standard format, or they may be formatted differently, example initials, abbreviations, or handwritten text. I can try other method. Yeah. Right. I mean, you guys really want me to just sit here and scroll through these and try to read them? I think you guys would be bored out of your minds. I heard earlier, though, that I got people like Bill Gates and, the people that we've all heard about that have been on the list since the original arrest, those are on there. But there was nothing new. That's the whole thing, is there was nothing new in the stuff that came out today. That's why Pam Bondi got pissed off, and apparently that information will be coming out soon, and that's what we should be going over. I don't really want to, KK. Jesus, how long is that going to be? You guys always make me, like, guilt me into doing it. It's like, I just want to, you know, I got to work on something else. Is this the thing right here? Okay, so this is a breakdown. Okay, I'll just put it on, I'll put it somewhere else. Ghislaine Maxwell. Right. All right, cool. Well, thanks for sending that. Maybe I'll do something with that later, but did want to say thanks to all the people. Let's see, we have Camden on Buy Me a Coffee. We also had Mike Weber, or Weber, probably. And then Maureen Price and Cheryl Bullock. And then someone, that's what the name is, someone bought me a coffee. Anyways, thanks KK for your super chat, and Sandy Shirley, and I got that link that you just gave me, I put it in the my folder. Right. It is kind of weird how the FBI didn't give Trump or Bondi what they asked for. I think they were pretty damn aware of what, you know, they wanted. They wanted the damn documents on, you know, what's going on here and with Epstein, and they didn't give it to her. So that makes you think that there's something else going on, which is exactly the opposite. And that's why Pam Bondi sounds the way she is. And I think heads are going to roll here. You know, this is, it's not going to work. Doesn't work in the Trump administration to hide shit like that. All right? Just doesn't. Oh, so it is Weber? Okay. Weber. Well, doesn't Weber also have two B's sometimes? Or is that Weber? Now I don't even know now. Jeez. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. If they're they're probably just burning files right now, left and right. Yep. It's disgusting. Anyways, thanks everybody for being here. We will see you tomorrow. Hope everybody shows up. It's the culmination of the entire month, our donation night, where we've already given $500 out. I hope to do 2,000 or 2,500 more. We'll just see how it goes. I was hoping if tonight was a good night and tomorrow was a really good night, then that might have been possible. We'll just have to see how tomorrow goes. But last month on the same night, it was just like a regular night. It wasn't special or anything. It was wild. I don't know what happened last month. So there you go. I hope you guys found the show interesting, though. I thought the Gene Hackman story it's intriguing, right? It's like, you know, with the absence of gas in there, it makes it sort of an interesting, like, what the hell happened story. All right. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, oh, by the way, what I'm working on now, just showing you this. So this is my map here. I keep staying on somehow. Where is it? Oh, right there. See, I'm moving the camera around in a whole bunch of different spots. Now, it's going to be different than it was. The one I made earlier today, if you didn't see the video, it's the Idaho 4 It's like a different version of the inside of the house. It's pretty sweet. Where is it? Where's the... Yeah, this is just... Alright, so these are the ones that I've got so far. I mean, it's kind of cool to watch. So, like, this is the first one. You know. Oh, that's not how it works. Open it up in this file right here. Because the one I did today was pretty good. I don't know if anybody saw it or not. But on Germany, yeah, because it's like Volkswagen with a W. Yeah, so like this is the front of the house, right? So you can kind of look at it like that. It's kind of interesting, right? I don't know if the shadows aren't really working right. I don't know if that's a good one or not, but the other ones look like, I'll show you. It's pretty cool inside. What does 2 mean, Zozo? I don't know what that means. Nobody was counting tonight. Alright, so here's right when you come in the door. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty sweet? And then you go up the stairs there. So this will be some way that you could easily look around, right? So you have that, but what's cool is then I'll have this version first, then I'll have this version where it's the... So look, now I even have Dylan Mortensen standing in her room next to the door. Right? So now from this position you can see where everybody is in the house. Like Madison Mogan and Kaylee are up in that top area. Dylan Mortensen's right in her room right below there. This is Kaylee's room way upstairs. And then right above this room is Xana Kernodle. Isn't that crazy? And then you open up the, for example, I think this one goes into that room. Oh, that's in the hallway a little bit. So let's go back. Maybe it's 2, that one. Yeah, so now we're in the storage room. That's the window that goes outside. So if you're looking at it like that, and then you open up, so the way I'm going to do it is you're going to be able to see both of them in a row. So while you see this one, you'll see... Why isn't that one opening? Come on, Jesus. It's ridiculous. Import failed. Oh, it's a duplicate. Oh. How could it be a duplicate when it's named 2B? Oh, is that it right there? Oh wait, no, it's supposed to be... $3B? I'm not sure what happened here. So 2 is this one. No, that's that one. Okay, so 3, that's in the room. So I need 3B open. Alright, so then you get that one, and then you zoom in here. And so this is the storage room. And look at right above the storage room. Like if Bethany Funk was staying in this storage room instead of the room she was in, she would have been right below Xana Kernodle. Right? And then that's the character I have walking through the front door. And then those are the steps going up. And then way up there, that's the dog that's in Kaylee's room. Dylan's over there, and Madison Mogan and Kaylee are up in that room there. So You know, and then I go all the way around. I think the last one, I'm going to make like 30 of these in this next one. And so we got, this one will be numbered the 6th. See, and that's at the top of the stairs after coming up. And then there's the kind of like an opening that goes into kitchen to the right. Dylan's right behind this wall there. And then the stairs go up. Down that hall right there is where Ethan and Xana are. So there you go. Look at that. Awesome, right? Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. I know Zozo doesn't like the Idaho 4 case. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later. Be safe out there. And thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. It's already been 3 hours. That's why I didn't want to go into the Epstein. I mean, you want me to sit there and read through 9 different pages of hundreds of call logs? Come on, you guys. You guys are crazy. Have a good one.